Hi there, welcome back. Today I'm doing the Where Do I Belong on freeCodeCamp, and this is part of the JavaScript algorithms and data structures module, so it's basic algorithm scripting, this part. So we just want to return the lowest index at which a value, which is the second argument, so this num, should be inserted into the array, which is the first argument. Once it's been sorted, the return value should be a number. So for example, get index to ins, we've got an array of 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the number's 1.5, and it basically should be inserted in between 1 and 2, and then the index of that, once it's in, essentially, is obviously 1, because 1 would be index 0, 1.5 is 1, 2 is 2, and so forth. So yeah, that's basically what we've got to do here. So what I'm going to do is just console.log around this example here. Let's do that just so we can see, and we're currently returning 50 because we're just returning the num. So I'm just going to remove that, just create some space here. So obviously the first thing you want to do is actually sort this array, because not always is it going to be sorted for us, or certainly that sort of once it's been sorted. So to do this, I'm actually going to, you could mutate the original array, but I'm going to create a new array, and let's call this sorted array, and that will be ARR, so that's the original array, dot sort. So there's a built-in method for this, but I think this actually works on strings. So when you're sort of using numbers, it's slightly different in sort of how you need to use it. So we basically pass in two values, so A and B, which I guess, sort of comparing each other, and then it's an arrow function here essentially, and then we need to do A minus B, because essentially what it's doing here is it's checking if B is greater than A, and then if so, I think it will actually insert it before that, but obviously we want it after in this example, so we do A minus B. But if I just console, or actually I can just return sorted array, we'll be able to see that obviously we're getting 40 and 60, which is what we're passing in. But if I change this to 10, so we can see here now the output is sorting it, numerically, so lowest to highest. So that's good, cool. So I'm actually going to leave this return sorted array here because actually we'll use this as a base case. Sorry. So now all we want to really do is actually return the index. So we're going to use a for loop to go through the array. So we'll do let I equal 0 whilst I is less than sorted array dot length I plus plus. All right, so classic for loop, and basically we want to do a check really here. So we want to check if the num is less than or equal to array, or sorted array, sorry, array, because that's what we're using now, at position I. We want to return I, because that's the index at which place this number is less than or equal to, just for that the cases where, let's say, there isn't, or maybe if there's two 50s. So if we do 50 and then 60 here, you'll see it will still be 1, just because if we don't have that equals 2, let's just see if it would then put it at position 2, you see. So it would be inserting the 50 here, but I just think, yeah, for this example, we'll just insert it, between the lowest and the lesser value, and then where it is. So less than or equals to, and then essentially this covers the majority of cases, but it won't cover if the number is greater than is greater than the highest number in the array. So for example here 80 is actually just we're returning sorted array, because it hasn't found a case where this can return this for loop, because number is never less than or equal to the sorted array, any of these items. So for that, in that case, it would just be sorted array dot length, right? Because that is the length of the array here, and we can see it would be essentially at position I, although actually would that be length plus 1? Oh no, sorry, because it's index, so yeah, index 3, and obviously position 4 here. So the output of this one would be well, you know, sort of 40, 50, 60, and then 80 here. And then 80 is on the third index. So yeah, that's how I solve this one. If I hit run, we should run all the tests and just check it all passes, which it does. So that's cool. And yeah, let me know if you sort of have a better solution to this in the comments below. I'd be excited to see what you can come up with. This is just an example that I have here. And as I said, you don't need to use the sorted array. You could just return or sort of mutate the original one, and then you just replace all of these sorted arrays with just the array itself that you get passed in. So yeah, well, that's all for today. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you.